What's up, everyone? I'm the Kaiju no Kame from the Toku and Animation News Network here at Fan Expo Denver 2023 with
me.
Yes.
Christopher D. Schmitz. I'm an author, and yeah, I write stuff.
You write
with
stuff.
words. Yeah. Sometimes there's pictures, but usually it's just words.
Words.
Yeah. Words.
Cool. So, what type of books do you write?
I write sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and humor.
What type of horror?
I write like psychological, like post-apocalyptic stuff. I do write some other stuff too. Like I do I have a big anthology that I do. It's kind of a grown-up version of scary stories to tell in the dark. But that's to promote some of my other writing. So I publish a bunch of different authors in that collection, and we get the first volume out. We're hopefully within the next year or so we'll do volume number 2. But I write the Shadowless series, which is think City of Ember meets I Am Legend, and I don't kill any dogs.
So what got you into wanting to be an author?
You know, I've been writing stories since I was a kid. Even writing short stories like on like pads of paper. But I always like to tell people I think my first idea, like it's just a storyteller. I'm a little kid and I'm in trouble. And my mom says, "Did you do this?" And I concoct a story on the fly, and all of a sudden I'm not in trouble anymore. There's power in stories. So I've been a storyteller ever since.
And it just continued on from there.
And continued on.
Was that something you decided you wanted to do right from the start, or did you do something else in between?
You know, I think I kind of have just always been a storyteller. Even like as a teenager, doing a lot of like RPGs and games. Like I was always the forever DM, and I enjoyed that role though. I enjoyed playing, but I also really enjoyed telling the story. And like I grew up, my hometown, less than 500 people. Like we were like playing with sticks and rocks out in the backyard, but I did have 10 acres of woods. So Willow came out that time. I'm out there like just reliving my favorite like fantasy adventures, like in my like 9-year-old mind or whatever. And that's kind of how I got really hooked on what story can be. It was the fact that everybody else is watching, like killing their brains with cable television in the early 80s. I'm like, I guess I make up my own friends, and it's always been that way. And then when I was in 4th grade, I discovered J.R.R. Tolkien, and my life was never the same.
So, do you have a book that right now that you are most proud of that you have done?
My favorite books, people ask me all the time, is always the one I'm writing now. Right now, like I'm wrapping up some work on one that is not going to be for sale for a long time, so why bother talking about it? My wife's favorite book that I've written is my horror, Shadowless. There's more of me in that story than any other. It's got some of my best writing in it. I do have a new fantasy series, A Kiss of Daggers. It reads like John Wick versus the Elves, based on Celtic lore and legend. It's a lot of fun. It was went over really big on Kickstarter. And then my bestseller is probably, if it's not my best, it's in the top 2 or 3. 50 Shades of Worf. It's a murder mystery at a comic convention with a plot to kill Will Wheaton.
Is that Sailor Moon on the cover?
There is, yeah. She's one of the cosplayers involved in the whole, like, that's where actually the title comes from. So it's not like, it uses satire law, kind of playing fast and loose. It's very funny. So there's 2 cops go undercover at Comic-Con trying to figure out, like, did Michael Dorn hire a hitman to kill Will Wheaton? Because they have, like, this little feud in the story, not in real life. Just satire, like, we gotta make sure we're clear about what's real and what's not. And there's a Sailor Moon cosplayer walks by and goes, Michael Dorn, I could use me 50 Shades of Worf. And that's where the title comes from. And they have to be explicit because I did hear from the lawyers from E.L. James who wrote 50 Shades of Grey.
That must have been fun.
Oh, it was a harrowing couple of weeks until I realized if you actually sue me, I'll get so famous. And in the end, I can just change the title to 49.5 Shades of Worf and it'll be fine. I'm like, please sue me. And like, nah, we don't want to be your meal ticket. Like, you're fine, whatever.
Well, I always feel like controversies is what makes some people bigger. Like, I feel like that's how Harry Potter really blew up, was because of all the controversy.
Oh yeah. So like I grew up in the 80s. I grew up in the Satanic Panic era. Like, I could not play D&D and stuff. I moved the needle enough that my mom is like buying her grandkids. Like, my mom bought her grandchildren Curse of Strahd for Christmas. I'm like, that's how far I moved the needle. Like, okay, fantasy's alright, but my mom did let me watch Willow, so I was a huge fantasy kid because she's like, Val Kilmer, he's pretty cute. I guess you can watch that movie. I'm watching it with you.
My thing was, I was big on Hero Quest growing up in the 90s. Hero Quest was just a fun game. Have you ever experienced that one?
Not Hero Quest, but I played a lot of Hero Escape. So a little different, more miniature space. But yeah, gaming is, I do like, whoever Ted is, call me, I'm ready for my TED Talk. I think fandom is what unites people all across the spectrum. Whatever you believe politically, religiously, just about people in general, when you can find a fandom, it humanizes everybody because we have this thing in common, and I really, really like that idea of just connecting in a base of fandom.
Now, outside of writing, what do you do for fun?
I play the bagpipes. It's on my picture there. Like, although I do that for money, so that might not be fun anymore. I bagpipe. I barbecue at a pretty, like I've done like the pro circuit on the barbecue contest. And I own a giant haunted Victorian mansion. That is a bed and breakfast in Iowa. It's the Henry Weiss Mansion. It's theweissmansion.com if you ever want to come in. I run like murder mysteries, which is a sense, it's like D&D for people who are like, D&D, that's for nerds. Oh, murder mystery with wine? Yes, please. That's what my wife and I do.
Nice. What got you into bagpipes?
So I played a lot of instruments throughout my life. I played like metal bands, stuff like that as a guitarist. I did some vocals, things like that. And the instrument I always remember hearing and like being like, oh, that's really cool. I want to do that. I remember being a little kid in that town of 500 people, hearing somebody play the bagpipes at like a 4th of July parade or something, which I am doing a 4th of July parade for the first time in a town of like 500 people, day after tomorrow, actually. And I was like, that sounds really cool. Maybe a little obnoxious. That could be fun. And it was in my 30s. I'm like, I gotta start checking stuff off on my bucket list. I'm gonna go take some lessons on this thing, and turns out I'm pretty okay at it. If I'm not good, I'm really loud, so that says something.
If you could describe your life in any song, what would it be?
Ooh. This is a fantastic question off the cuff. Any song, I feel like there is a perfect answer to this, and I'm gonna give you the name of a song, and immediately go like in an hour and be like, oh, that was the wrong song, and then I'm gonna be like upset. Come back to the question because I know there's a perfect song.
Well, what advice, because I'm a teacher, would you give students who want to try something but they're afraid of failure?
Who cares about failure? Have fun, you know. I'm doing this. So I was doing this for fun early on, and I'm like, it kind of became a part of my identity. And I keep writing and people like it. And who cares if somebody, like, there will always be somebody that doesn't like it. Screw that guy, who cares? Write for you, have fun, explore yourself through writing or art or whatever it might be, and you do you. And so I have, that's my advice, I guess. Who cares about the haters? There will be a hater no matter what. And screw that guy. Because there will also be people that love it. And here's the thing. People who hate it, if there's 100 people that read something and 99 of them love it, one person will hate it. And they will tell you that they hate it. 99 people that love it, out of those 99, probably none of them will tell you that they love it. But one of them out of the 99, it's literally changed their life. And maybe even saved their life. So who cares about the hater? Because all these other people talk more about what they dislike than what they like. So screw those guys. Just know deep down in your heart that somebody loves this, and of all those people that love it, more than that love you. And so focus on that and let that be what guides your life.
What social media links can people find you at?
I am on Facebook. I am on Twitter and some other ones. I'll give you my website because I pay somebody to run that for me because I'm bad at social media. I do run my Twitter though, and I'm bad at it. So on my website, if you pan the camera, it's authorchristopherDschmitz.com, which it's author. You can't quite see this, but yeah, perfect. So which fun fact. Life is funny. Sometimes you discover things like your name's not your actual name. You ever look closely at your birth certificate? People make spelling errors in more places than in books. Fine. That happened to me. I called my dad. You spelled my name wrong in my birth certificate. My name's not even my name. He goes, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Have you thought of that song yet?
Thought of the song. You know, I was hoping you would come back to me on that. Okay. There are so many good ones out there. Give me a genre. Maybe I can narrow this down. What kind of music do you like?
I like industrial, so Rammstein.
Oh, I love Rammstein.
KMFDM, Skinny Puppy.
Skinny Puppy, that's a deep cut, yeah. Boy, I listened to a lot of Rammstein. You know, lately I've been listening to Radio is a great song. I've been missing seeing them. I wanted to go catch them on tour recently, and every time I just miss them a little bit. My wife is like, you promised me some Rammstein. And, you know, probably, well, one of my favorite songs, like whenever this is on, I'm just like, all right, now I'm in the zone. Where the Sidewalk Ends by Rob Zombie. I think that was the name of the hidden track on what was the song? It was the one with More Human Than Human on it.
Well,
I can see.
Let's see, not Lost is Sex or
something Volume 2.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, oh, I know, right? It's
oh my God.
You're talking about for White Zombie.
Yeah, White Zombie. Yeah. Before, which is one of the best concerts I ever saw. I saw Rob Zombie in his front Hellbilly Deluxe tour, like right in the front, 30-foot giant flame-throwing animatronic robot. Like, this is so cool.
Yeah, we got to see when him and Ozzy did their Christmas tour.
Oh, nice. What he did on that tour is them and Korn, and that was like, I've hung out with Brian Welch, the guitarist, a few times. Super cool dude. What's the name of that album?
It's gonna bug me now.
Oh, yeah,
I used to own it.
It's such a good album. Yeah, it's like the hidden track on there, and it's like this cool, just chill jam. It's like it's just like you hear that like that. I feel like it's 1996 again, and I am just. Please don't let Mom know I'm listening to Rob Zombie. Like, it's so good though.
Any final words for our viewers?
Final words. Buy my books, I guess. I do stand by that. Like, you know, no matter what, even if people hate your stuff, there are people that love your stuff. And more than that, there are people that love you. So take comfort in that, because I'm all about that. Like, educate people. Like, you know what, you're worthy. You have value, and people love you, even if they're not telling you.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Sure.
Until next time, bye.